Getting away.
This is a regular meeting of the Board of Trustees of the New York Fire Department Pension Fund and New York Fire Department Life Insurance Fund. It's February 22nd, 2017. It is now 10 o'clock. Fire Department Headquarters, 9 Metro Tech, Brooklyn, New York, 8-7. Could we have a roll call of trustees?
Mr. John Adler.
Here.
Mr. John Dorsa. Present. Philip Duke. Here. Mr. James Slevin.
Eric Bischoff's in for James Levin.
Mr. Gerard Fitzgerald. Present. Mr. Eddie Brown.
Yeah.
Mr. John Kelly.
Present.
Mr. Jack Kelty.
Here.
Mr. John Farina.
Here.
Mr. Paul Farrow.
Here.
Mr. Thomas Fallon.
Here.
Commissioner Douglas White.
Here.
Okay, we got a quorum.
We have a quorum. Start the meeting. Okay, first thing we need to do is approve the minutes. The regular meeting minutes of January 25th, 2017.
Make a motion. So moved.
Second.
Any objections? Hearing none, motion carries. I'm sorry, who made the second?
Gerard Fitzgerald.
Oh. Now, the investment meeting minutes of December 15th, 2016, the public session, part 1 and 2, executive session, presentations, and summary. This is for December 15th, 2016.
So moved. Second.
Any objections? Hearing none, motion carries.
Yeah.
Okay, the January 18, 2017 investment meeting minutes. We need a motion on that as well. We need an approval of that as well.
Motion. Second.
Any objections? Hearing none, motion carries. Okay. So we're gonna start with resolutions, etc. Subchapter 2. A. The board is requested to adopt the resolution regarding power of executive director. I think at this point, maybe Steve, you want to speak to it, or you just want to?
The resolution is basically a carbon copy of what NICERS gave us, and we ran it past full council. It's the trustees granting the executive director the authority to hire and procure the services to get the operation up and running. It's basically, it's annual, and every year we come back for annual approval.
So I just have one question. So we're doing it on a calendar year, which is fine, but does it make sense to maybe consider going forward to do it on a fiscal year? Because the fiscal year is when there's other things that come due, and I don't know what the law said. Doesn't the law make mention of a fiscal year? I would say this is fine, but maybe some iteration in the future.
Maybe we should do the resolution again the next fiscal year. I don't know. There's something we can talk about. But
yeah, I just want to alleviate the stress of having to figure out when to.
So we did have a discussion with OMB and several others. I was in a meeting, and we talked about a budget. My budget's going to be a challenge, the initial budget out of the gate, because it's hard to know exactly how much resources we're going to need. We've got to request permission for a budget, but I don't have a budget director, so that is something we're going to do quickly, and it was talked about doing it on a fiscal calendar. So I think we need to address this today and then move forward on other issues as they pop up. But certainly, I think you're right about getting on a fiscal calendar.
Yeah, just an idea for the future. But,
so, Steve, are you suggesting you think that on July 1 we should do another resolution?
I do, and I think that once we have
this is just for the
that's what I'm saying. I don't see any issues with this. I'm just looking out for the perpetuity of the fund. That may be easier because we come in at the fiscal year with the controllers' resolutions as well. Maybe you just want to make a suite of things that you need to get done by the end of the fiscal year. You can package it all together. It's an idea, but it's...
No, I appreciate it, John. And just so you know, I've had discussions with all the other executive directors, but we're trying to go back to when they started is impossible.
Yeah.
You know, Mike Walton's the only person that remembers, and he vaguely remembers what happened in 2001 on the PD side. But certainly, discussions already with OMB, the indication is that I'm going to have to get a budget up and running It's going to be a very tentative budget based on some projected costs. We're working on that, but we're going to work on that as soon as I get my team on board.
Wait, the thing though is that this resolution is an accurate thing because it says resolved, it talks about period from January 1st, 2017 to December 30th, 2017. So it may very well be, maybe it's appropriate to,
No, I think it's, I mean, I think for this purpose, it's fine, and
We can always resolve.
we can always resolve
July
that
1.
later, but I do think that, to Steve's point, it's important that we get this done and get everything in motion from the board's perspective to empower the executive director. I was just more curious if it would be helpful in the future to revisit the dates, but that's not a question pertaining to this specific document.
I think you're right, but
Steve, is there any list of like the goods, the services, and the power to duties? Do you have a list of that stuff?
So-
Or will you have a list?
I will have a list. I mean, so, you know, just as the large ticket items, obviously in real estate, right? You're gonna have an IT team, you're gonna have a storage capacity. So there were a lot of things that we've had discussions with the other executive directors. They all have backup sites. I don't know if anybody knows that. They all have a backup site. So those are the big ticket items that have to be secured. Until I get a budget director on board and start looking at these numbers, I won't really be in a position to give you a general idea. But we're not really reinventing the wheel. Basically, everybody's doing the same thing, although our fund is a little bit smaller than some of the others.
How
I mean, the
like-
criteria that you have to have, certain things are going to be there.
I also think that goods, property and service is pretty standard language in terms of, you know, this kind of contract, mini contract.
I would agree
Because you
with
just
you.
have, it's very hard to
Well,
nail
like
down
when I
all.
buy goods, I list them, what I need. So if we're trustees and fiduciaries and we want to give Steve power, if we list the goods and stuff we need, we know exactly what he needs and stuff. But if there's no list, then he could just go and get whatever he thinks. But it's probably good if the board understands what he needs, because we could offer assistance.
Well, John, I think that will be what the budget
Yeah.
is.
Okay.
So the budget
So you
is
need a
subject
budget
to
first.
the board's approval.
Yeah.
And so, other than these early hires, the budget director, the general counsel, the other stuff that he's going to procure is going to be subject to the budget, which we will approve. So it's not like we're giving him a blank check
Okay.
to go to the
Well, as
pension
long as
fund
we all
supermarket.
understand that,
Yeah.
I think it's helpful.
Right?
You said everybody understands it.
Well, at least if
Yeah,
I understand.
I certainly feel comfortable with it. I think that it's pretty standard language that it's very hard to, it's really hard to do these things until you've had a run through, pretty much.
The thing is, like John says, and he's right, like, you gotta explain to us what's going on. If we go in the field right now and guys say, well, let's just separate it from the fire department, right? Is there a time frame for this, or are we just gonna be in Metro Tech for how long? I thought the whole idea was that we're gonna be out of this building, right? Separate from the fire department. Right now, I still come here every month. Is there a time frame?
There is a time
There is-
frame. There is a time frame.
What is it?
But, you know, it's a guesstimate right now because I just hired general counsel and I'll give that update in a few minutes separately. When she comes on board, hopefully in 2 weeks, there's a lot of issues that we got to tackle. You can't tackle real estate until you have general counsel. So in effect, we haven't even been able to look at the main issue that you need to address, which is where are you going to move to? Until you tackle real estate, you really can't tackle all the other issues. So I'll have an update once I get counsel on board, we start looking at real estate.
Any other questions about
Would
this?
you like a motion to?
Yeah, and I think that, since we'll call it Exhibit 1, okay? I mean, just because it's a thing here, that's all. It's not written here. Just make a motion here.
Okay, so I make a motion to accept the resolution before us regarding the power of the executive director.
Second.
Any objections? Hearing none, motion carries. Okay, number B, the board is requested to approve application for an option 1 pension benefit in the amount of $2,824.59 per month to Mrs. Patricia Ryan, widow and designated beneficiary of deceased firefighter, retired firefighter John Ryan.
Motion to approve. Second.
Any objections? Hearing Kelly. Any no objections, motion carries. C, the board is requested to approve application for an option-free pension benefit in the amount of $1,225.44 per month to Mrs. Claire Diodato, widow and designated beneficiary of the deceased retired firefighter Diodato.
Motion to approve. Second.
Any objections? Hearing none, motion carries. D, the board is requested to approve the application for an option-free pension benefit in the amount of $1,971.79 per month to Mrs. Elizabeth Bullock, widow and designated beneficiary of deceased retired firefighter Harold Ewing.
Motion approved. Second.
Any objections? Hearing none, motion carries. E, the board is requested to approve maximum pension allowance payment to retired members without an option selection, 19 cases listed.
So moved.
Second.
Any objections? Hearing none, motion carries. F, the board is requested to approve refund of annuity savings account excess to improve benefit plan members, 35 cases listed.
So moved.
Second.
Any objections? Hearing none, motion carries. G, the board is requested to approve application for the return of accumulated deductions / contributions due to resignation, 3 cases listed.
So moved. Second.
Any objections? Hearing none, motion carries. We're going to second call H. We'll get to the case later. We'll come back to it. I, the board is requested to approve advance payments to retirees entering on the fund's January 2017 payroll, 11 cases listed.
So moved.
Second.
Any objections? Hearing none, motion carries. J, the board is requested to approve payments to physicians of subchapter 2 medical board.
So moved. Second.
Any objections? Hearing none, motion carries. K, the board is requested to approve payments to Fink and Carney reporting and video.
So moved. Second.
Any objections? Hearing none, motion carries. L, the board is requested to approve payments due Mechanical Secretary Inc.
So moved.
Second. Any objections? Hearing none, motion carries.
Doug,
Yeah.
any reason, why do you skip over H?
Yeah, Lee?
Oh, we need to do his resolution on his application for death benefit first. Once that is approved
Okay.
by the board,
We'll go back.
then
Thank you.
he is entitled, she's entitled to get the increased take home pay.
Thank you.
Yeah. This is what we do, right? That's the case. No, we need a motion to get into the life insurance fund.
Okay. So we need a motion to move out of the public session to the fire department's life insurance fund.
Second. So moved.
Second.
Any objections? Hearing none, motion carries.
Excuse me.
Oh, God bless you.
Thank you.
Roll call, trustees remains the same.
Yes.
A, I'm sorry. The board is requested to approve each application for $6,000 of life insurance benefits from beneficiaries of deceased retired members, 37 cases listed.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right. Any objections? Hearing none, motion carries. Now, we'll move out of, move to conclude the life insurance fund meeting and moving to executive session for deciding disability cases, etc. The first item on, I think, on the agenda is maybe a more expansive report of the executive director.
Yeah,
So we need a motion?
we need a motion to move out.
I'll make a
Sorry, I
mo-
skipped the
I'll-
motion.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to exit the public session into executive session. I'll second that motion.
Any objections? Hearing none, motion carries. We're in public session and we have a second call on an item. And we're going to do that in public session. The board is requested to approve the application for the return of increased take-home pay and a lump sum amount of $170,373.19 to Mrs. Fiona Brett, widow and designated beneficiary of deceased Deputy Chief Michael Fahey.
So moved.
Second.
Any objection?
Gerard, second.
Any objections? Hearing none, motion carries. So we're now in the, we're still in the public session. Okay, we need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All right, any objections? Hearing none, motion carries.
Would I like to say something off the record?
Yes.
I just spoke to
The
Fire.
camera should be turned off, thank you.